Keep it Pyro.
PyroRadio.com. Gee! Special guest Coinz in the building.
That's a banger still.
Yes.
Welcome back.
We're going to have to play that one in the whip on the way home.
man.
For real.
Thanks for coming back, man. We had you on a while ago, and it's mad because the topic we discussed last time is kind of it's real relevant to what we're continuing here today. I wouldn't usually bring someone back to talk about the same thing, but
you've been going too hard on Twitter right now.
Yeah, you've been seeing the ranks. Yeah, come on, man.
Every day I see him going hard. I'm like,
bruh, there's so much you can't ignore out here, man. People just, Twitter just opinionated,
Yeah, of course. So just to give some context for people watching this, over the last few weeks, they said that London went past New York in the murder rate for the first time.
Yeah.
The media has been talking about a lot of murders that's been happening across London and in North London a lot. How have you been feeling about what's been going on, man?
I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but I haven't really, nothing's changed for me, to be honest. And to defend myself by saying that is because, to me, I haven't seen an uprise. It's always been like this since I've been on the roads, you know what I'm saying? And that started a long time ago. So I don't know, man. The statement about the New York thing, I looked into it. Apparently it was 0.01%. So that shows you how focused the media are on making this a big thing. And that makes me ask the question is, has the media or has the government got some sort of agenda? It's why they're blowing this up now, because it's always been happening. Like where I come from, people get stabbed or shot every other day. It's normal, you know what I mean? So I've been the same, man. What
do you think that agenda is?
I can't put my finger on it. I wish I knew, but I don't know what it could be. Like me and my guy were talking about it yesterday. We're saying a lot of the incidents that are getting bigged up on the media are happening in areas where they're trying to push this gentrification, like in Hackney, you know what I mean? So it's happening in these areas where it should not be happening, you know what I'm saying? But bruv, all these areas, Tottenham, Hackney, like there's a new development going in Tottenham with the Tottenham Stadium, things like this where it's meant to be a money making thing. This is bad for business. So it looks like they're trying to shed the light on it now because they got all these good people moving in and stuff. They want to help push us out. You know what I mean?
Real. It's mad because we've been talking a lot before you got here about the rap music being blamed, etc.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about that being what's the agenda for that? But you just took it to a whole, like, what's the agenda for the whole story as a whole?
I can't lie, that's what I was saying earlier. I've seen a lot of people on my timeline, and even like rappers that are out there, been asking for more police. And that's the first time in my whole life I've seen like black communities asking for more police. We need stop and search. We need them to violate us like they used to, because that will help bring the crime down. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Like when I was like in my teens crossing into my 20s, stop and search was very prominent, and it was happening to everybody and anybody, and it was an uproar about it. We're getting, like racial profiling and all these things. So it's good to say it, but when it starts happening to you, like I'm saying with these murders, like a lot of people are now losing loved ones. Yeah. They didn't bat an eyelid before. You know what I mean? They'll scroll past the thing. Maybe, it's sad. But it's nothing, cracking on with their day, banter. But now it's happening to people around them. You know what I mean? And now they want to they want to jump on it and, man. You know what I mean? It's been happening.
You think it's got worse?
Nah, because people dying, like young people killing young people is bad enough. Doesn't matter the numbers, it's bad enough.
Yeah.
One young black man killing another black man should be considered bad. So because now there's statistics and they're compared to places which are seen to be worse than the UK, like New York, now it's a big fuss and a song and a dance. And nah, man, I'm not hearing it still.
You've been getting like quite passionate on social media about this whole debate. What is it that sparked that off for you? Anything specific?
Do you know what it is? Because I've walked a certain path in life, I feel like there's a lot of people who are talking from the cinema seats. They watch, they dabble in and out. Oh, yeah, that's interesting, but they don't live that life. So you can't judge a man from when you ain't walked in his shoes, and that's what really, it grinds my gears still. Because a lot of people that I see, you don't live that way of life. So how can you tell the next man how to live? How can you even comprehend the next man's actions when you haven't walked in his shoes? It's easy for you to say, I wouldn't do that, that's mad, but you ain't walked in a man's shoes. You ain't been through the things he's been through. So that kind of gets to me. You know what I mean?
What kind of things are you seeing being said?
Even do you know what it is? It's how can you like, how can a young king see another young king and push a blade in him? Things like that. It's not that simple. It's really not that simple. One of them young kings might have killed that young king's friend, or might have made his life a living hell. You don't know. So until you walk until you've been through these things, you can't comment on it. You know what I mean? Like certain people have actually held their boys dying. Like it's not a movie, fam. They've actually been on top of their friends and seen them die. You know what I'm saying? Until you've been through that, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? You can comment on what a man does. Really.
To build on that question, yeah. So you may have already answered this already, but to build on the question Nova said, and to get right specific to it, what was the last thing someone tweeted or the last comment you saw on social media that was like, oh my gosh, I have got to where you end up, you know them ones where you end up writing a long response and you're like having to rejig it and recalibrate it so many times. What was the last thing that just really provoked that emotional response from you in terms of like how wrong can you get it? Like,
do you know what? It was recently, but it wasn't about something so recent. It was about the Rashawn Charles, R.I.P. My guy Rash all day as well, man. But you know what I mean? It was something about put up with that, and it was, I think they were just like, oh yeah, because they found something on him, you deserve to die. He's a drug dealing scum and all these things there, and I'm just like, bro, whoa, like there's so much successful people in life that are role models and stuff like that have made mistakes and walked a bad life. 20 years old, you do something doesn't define who you are gonna be in 20 years time. You know what I'm saying? And these are the people that probably do bad things and want to be forgiven for them. They might be not as bad as selling drugs and that in their community, but yeah, these people, you know, go home, they hit their wives and all them things there, and they beg for forgiveness of that.
Tony Blair ran up on a rock and lied to do it.
Come on, fam.
But man, see him on morning TV smiling. See me, no one's angry at him.
Them man get forgiven. You know what I mean? So, like, them things, they get me mad. They get me mad because I'm like, right, if I went out like that, because it could happen to any one of us walking that kind of lifestyle. So if I went out like that, is that what people would be saying about me? You know what I mean? So I know what I stand for. Just because I do something doesn't mean that's solely me. You know, that's not. I don't represent that alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I feel that's an important message for the youngers, because a lot of them, I feel like the way they're getting heat now, it's like they're telling them, if you've been involved in this thing at all, if you've been involved in this thing at all, then you're just a wrong'un.
Nah, man.
Like they're judging man on one act or one thing they done. Like there's no,
like I'm saying,
no doing nothing else.
When I was arguing with the dude about the parents thing, he was going to me, you know, keep your kids away from the bad kids. And I'm like, who's the bad kids? And how can they be good kids then? Like, how can you just section people off like that?
Let me tell you something, yeah? You see, my mum was like, we come from a good family in that sense, like good morals and stuff like that. Weren't rich, but my mum's a white woman who came from Somerset. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's near Bristol. Like so she moved to Hackney and she had me, and long story short, now I'm going through things, even when it boiled down to school, I'm getting in trouble. And my mum couldn't comprehend why that was happening. She was blaming people around me and that. And I had to actually sit her down. I think I was about 14, 15, and I said to her, Mum, I'm not a follower, you know. Like, I looked her in her eyes and I said, all these kids that you're blaming, I choose to hang around with them and do these things. You know what I mean? It's not because I'm with them, I'm doing it. I choose. I made that choice to go and do these things, you know what I mean? So even like building on what Big Nasty said the other day, he was like, raw, his mum brought him up very well. He made the choices to go out and do these things. And everyone blaming this, blaming that, parenting, our parents beat your kids. A lot of us got beats from a young age. All it made us is more clued up on not how to get them beats. So let's be a bit smarter. Let's not get caught this time. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Yeah, that's very true. Because when the punishment's very harsh, especially, I don't know, because I'm African, bare Africans, right, the way they regulate their kids is too much. So then the kids don't even come to them with the minor things that they could have just got help from the family with, and then everything's on your own, and then that's when you get that type of relationship. You know, they don't know what you're up to.
Trust me.
Maybe a bit of a tough question, and you use Big Nasty as an example, and you said, you know, he claims he has a good upbringing from his parents and that, So, and we say it's choices. We make the choices. Why? What do you think was the factor behind you making the choices that you've made coming up? If you say some of them had consequences of putting you in an environment where there might be danger, there might be violence, there might be trouble. What do you think was the driving factor behind those choices?
Boredom could play a big part into it, but not everyone was bored and jumped on the roads. So that could, maybe for me, excitement from a young age, you know, like doing wrong, you know what I'm saying? You know, like it's like cops and robbers. You don't want to be the cops. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking for everyone. This is just me. You know what I mean? So, and then it got real though. That's what I'm saying. At first, it's just fun, innit? You know, it's fun. Knock down ginger, all them things. You know, like, and then it becomes real. You know, like people get hurt and stuff like that, and you know. But like I'm saying, you can make choices. Like I had friends where when someone died, certain people chose to stand up and do something, and certain people saw that as a sign to fall back. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it comes with the choices thing. A lot of people make choices, man. You know what I mean? It's not just peer pressure and it's the cool thing to do. Some people are in it for that, but I can't comprehend that.
Do you think it's a music thing?
No, definitely not. Definitely not a music thing. I was speaking to one of my sisters the other day. She's a spoken word artist. Her name is Lioness Poet. Check her out. She's very, very clued up. You see her on Facebook?
No.
You might see her. She's very, very sick. But I was talking to her about the music thing, and she was like, "Oh, a lot of kids like hear this music and they want to go and dip, man." And I'm just like, it's not that. A lot of these youths, that are doing the drill music are active on the roads.
I've been saying
their
that.
reality, fam. They're not gassing anybody up to go and do that. They're talking about what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's not their fault that it's popping now. You know, it's not their fault.
And they got platforms to push it.
Like, they didn't care about UK. They wasn't saying UK music was when like I'm saying, when I was younger, they were blaming American music because it was bigger than. But now UK's the drill scene popping. Oh yeah, it must be. No, it's not. It's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying though it doesn't influence man to go and do certain things, but it's not the reason behind it. Like, you take away drill music, you're still gonna get man doing madness on the roads, fam.
Yeah. You said something similar to this last time, and I was gonna put that clip up today. I'll probably put it up tomorrow, man. But do you feel like this judgment that you've been seeing is coming from outside our community or from inside it?
Both. Both. Because there's a lot of people that think they're entitled to talk on it because they live in it, but you're not in it. You live around it, but you're not in it. There's a big difference. You haven't crossed that line. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's easy to sit in the cinema seats and say, I would have done that if that was me. No, it's not you though.
And where do you think their stance comes from with those people being judgmental and like non-understanding, I suppose?
Well, maybe they might feel like they've got a family member that's on the roads. That could be an example. I spoke to a lady the other day and she was like, one of my nephews or something, but I'm sure your nephew doesn't sit down and tell you the deeper things of this. He might, so maybe that's why you're talking about it. I feel like some people might have a friend that's involved or a family member. Or
I feel like a lot of people from the ends that's talking on it, they're kind of disconnected from the ends a little bit to where they don't even know no one, and they're speaking blindly because more time when someone knows someone, they humanize the thing. It's not just he's a madman, he's a savage because he listened to a song. They think, okay, no, there's things that led to this. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta have empathy, man. You gotta, before you make a judge on anything, you gotta say, if that was me. And a lot of the situations, it would never be them. So like I'm saying, I can't talk about what a next man's doing in a different walk of life from me because one, I'm not him, and I couldn't imagine myself being him because that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, like I'm saying, a social network is a place where people can drop their opinions left, right, and center. I can't stop them from doing that, but you know, like, people need to think first, man.
Does it frustrate you more when you hear these kind of conflicting opinions coming from outside of the community or when they're coming from inside the community?
It affects me. It gets on my nerves more from the inside because the outside, it's not your fault. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk about really what's going. Like Heady One said, I can't talk about what's going on in Westminster because I don't live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I see that.
I can't. And so if I try to, it's just me being ignorant. I don't know. It's me doing it in ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So they're none the wiser. But people, like I'm saying, that live in the hood, you know what I'm saying, you should be a bit more clued up because these things are happening on your doorstep. Like, you're seeing the 20 youths out on the roadside. They're not troubling you. They're not there to trouble you. You know what I'm saying? But then when something happens, you want to more stop and searches and that. But
what do you think is the cause, like the other causes of these kind of things happening at the moment?
So that's a good question.
It's a good question, but it's so hard to answer, man. I wish I knew, because if I knew, I would start telling people, and I'm sure they'll start telling others. But like I'm saying, I feel like it's so bigger than us.
I can't like when you were saying the Westminster thing, that's what I was kind of thinking. That's another reason why in the community we criticize what we know. So we say, it's the goons' fault, it's the parents' fault, it's the music's fault. But we don't really know what they're doing in Westminster. So we can't criticize what they've done because we ain't even been paying attention.
Trust me,
we don't know. We pop up just like, the austerity, but that's a word. Man don't know what it means.
I don't know the bigger plan that's been put in, but I just feel like it's proper. Sorry to be negative, but I feel like it's meant to be like this because they want it to be like this.
Yeah.
I really think like.
I feel like it's
No,
on
I agree. I
purpose.
said it's on purpose.
Yeah, same.
Like anywhere you go in the world though, where there's poverty, there's violence.
Yeah.
Simple. Like El Salvador, 50 murders a day. They're not a lot listening to flipping South London drill artists, fam.
You never know, man. It's popping now.
It might be. Sorry, but like I'm saying, that murder rate has been like that. It's been savage over there. Them countries, Venezuela, El Salvador. You know what I'm saying?
So taking that example on, what would you think the reasons are for the violence happening there?
Poverty, innit? Money.
Yeah.
Like if man was nice, I wouldn't have time to be worried about what the next man's doing or what the next man's saying or trying to get me. I'll be doing me over there. We're all in this small little pond trying to get that buck. You know what I'm saying? And like people clashing it. You know.
A lot of these deaths right now, I feel like it's not over money though.
Nah, of course it's not over money, but why a man in these situations?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Why a man got the time to do these
in
things?
the
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And they say it was. I see somebody saying the other day it was youth clubs. Decided to shut that down. This really wasn't because of the lack of youth clubs. Like my youth club, one of my good friends almost died there, fam. Bullet in the neck. You know what I'm saying? So, like, youth club is just a location for man to go and get them. That's how these youths are gonna look at it.
I can't lie. I was saying the other day to someone that if they reopen youth clubs, they have to be prepared that when they first open, there's gonna be shootings again. There's gonna be people dying in youth centers.
A one Snapchat, boom, gang, boom.
I've been
rolling up in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been kind of anti with the youth club thing, like as well, the last couple of weeks. But my thing is like, those youth clubs aren't connecting with young people. So do you think if there was some kind of youth services that connected with youth and like
got them onto
something that they want to do and communicated with them, you know, I've been saying these young people need therapy and like people don't want to take therapy, but like some kind of way of communicating with young people that's helping them with their needs.
I don't know. I feel like the more young role models they have, I think that could sway more of them to want to do better. You know, because you can have all these old guys that's talking to them, but that might not necessarily, they might not necessarily grow up to be them. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it when people wanted to talk to me when I was younger. So I feel like music is helping so much. You're seeing young drill artists change their life. You know what I'm saying? Even though like some of the content is a bit vicious, you know what I'm saying? It's reality, man. So I feel like the more young role models that these youth men have, you know, like the young people doing well, doing success, I can do this, I can do that, you know what I mean? I feel like that will deter more from being on the roads.
Would you say them drill artists are partly those role models?
Partly, yeah, they're gonna be, man.
They're making money now as well.
It's money. It's
no more.
You know what I mean? Like, hopefully, not everybody wants to do it as, you know. Like, I don't support anybody talking what they don't live. So if you're not living that way of life, you shouldn't be talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But music, bro, there's, you know, entertainment, you know, comedy. There's so much going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about music and how there's so much going on in the entertainment industry, and also connecting that to what we were talking about in terms of youth clubs, whether they are or aren't something that works for young people. Where did you hone your craft as a lyricist, as a recording artist? How did that journey begin? And I'm sorry if you've already spoken on this previously, but I want to connect it to the whole idea of youth clubs. And I mean, was it in a youth club environment, for example, or was it on the roads? I mean,
that's a mad question, you know, because I'm trying to think now. I ripped my first. That's what I'm saying. I ripped my first rap properly when I was 16. Yeah, and that was because one of my guys that was on the roads with man was doing it. So kind of from the streets. But when I look back to it, like, I gotta thank my mumsy, fam. My mumsy put music into my soul from young. Fed me, listen to that. CDs, gave me CDs. You need to listen to that. You need to listen to that. And that always made me want to sing, want to be creative. You know what I'm saying? So I feel I was always gonna do it. But it was the roads, man. It never happened in youth club, but I ripped my first thing in my bedroom.
Okay, like, so there was never like an institution, there was never a school environment, no drama club, no nothing like that. It just happened within the family home.
Yeah, in my house,
and on the roads amongst your peers.
Literally on the roadside, like spitting with my bedrooms on the block and that.
The reason I kind of said that is because I would have never connected it, and I'm not a big advocate. I never really spent time in youth clubs myself, actually. But when I thought about it, one of the first times I developed as an MC is we just used to randomly gate crush. We were waved. We used to gate crush this youth club. To be honest, we were a bit too fucked out to go in there. They were trying to kick us out. Like, who are these roadmen coming in at that time? We used to DJ and that. And when I actually, when I deep it, the youth clubs actually played quite a lot in my development as an artist, but that's not necessarily the case, and I can completely understand why some people don't feel that way. But I thought I'd ask just in case there was a connection there.
But one thing I will, like, even though, like I'm saying, youth clubs might not be the answer, big up the Pembrey Youth Centre, man, because there were some real people that helped man from a young age, not necessarily through music and stuff, but you know, they reached out to man differently still, and that it wasn't going to take me out of the situation, but I take some of the things that them people said in life start, and I gotta thank them, man. Like, yeah,
they do have a role, but there's just not a fix all in it, because the problem is a lot of things. It's a lot of things that all added up together, and we're only really paying attention to it now because it's getting gassed up. But those things have been problems, and they all been getting to this, and it's going to get worse if it's not dealt with in the right ways, isn't it?
Like basketball, table tennis, and pool is not gonna. That's for 2 hours. It's not gonna make man. Gonna change man's life. You know what I'm saying? It's just real, man.
No, real talk.
Yeah, I really think they need better programs and the right people involved. But I don't know if it's like, I think it can help. I'm not saying it's the main solution.
Yeah.
Any other solutions we can address?
I mean, I don't think it's parenting's fault, but you know, you just gotta keep an eye on your youths, man. Like I'm saying, my mum tried to keep an eye on me, and I was out there a while, but you need to try, man, because there's a lot of don't want to use the word, it's whatless, innit? There's a lot of whatless parents out there, fam, that just let their youths gallivant, and you know what I'm saying. And them people usually be the people that weren't necessarily going to be on the roads, but they're just allowed to be out at 3 a.m. and them things. So this only going to keep up badness. So parents, you know, you got to try and.
Also, what is a parent to do? Let's say it like their youths on your estate, which you know is at war with some other estates as well. Like, what are they to do if their youths just being targeted?
What do you mean by that?
By other estates. Your youth's year 7 and he's being targeted by other estates. What do you do? Maybe he's just big. You know, sometimes the big youth just get targeted. You get me? Man's just big. Man recognize him. Man will beat him up every time man see him on the way to school, on the way home from school.
Move out.
Move, yeah?
Move
what if
fast.
you ain't got money to move? Let him die.
It becomes a problem.
I'm saying.
It becomes a problem.
It's not your fault though. It's not all the. I'm saying the parents sometimes they ain't really can't do nothing.
So my thing is just that, because I've been arguing with people about this parent thing. I've been like, if the parents are not doing the job they need to do, they're victims too to some what's going on in society. How do we help them?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I have the answer, but that's another question. Is like, they need support too.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. There's a lot of single mums out there dealing with unruly boys. So it's hard. It's hard, man. And that's why I say fathers
and addiction.
you gotta play your role, like not more and just more than just seeing the youths on the weekend. You know, you gotta be involved in your youths' lives. Like, I don't know. Maybe one thing in common I can look around with me and a lot of my peers is that we never had dads like that. We really didn't. So there was no one to really say, I'm gonna punch you up if I catch you out here. You know what I'm saying? Because the older lot weren't doing that. Like, they out here, innit?
They let you do whatever.
We're out there with them. So, well, I don't know, man. Like, my youth fam, touch wood. You know what I'm saying? If I have a boy, like, bruv, if he's on the roads, I'm gonna break him, fam. So the government can tell me not to, but fam, I'll go jail for that cause. You know what I'm saying, fam?
Like, yo, we just talked about that, fam. About these licks. These licks, man, we're giving our youth. It's not helping, though, is it?
But I might ship his ass to the Caribbean or somewhere where you're allowed to do it. Because you're allowed to do that shit out there, fam.
No, for real.
Real life, like, I don't know, man. It's hard.
You're allowed to do it here, though.
Are you? Are you allowed to put your hands on your kids?
Fam, my mum put hands on me.
No, but that was then. That was then. If your mum puts her hands on you now in public, she'll get arrested for assault.
Okay,
if it was on camera. If it was on camera.
She don't have to do it on public. She can just wait till we get home. Like,
so say, I know this won't happen, but metaphorical, whatever, not, yeah. Say if you made a complaint about that to the police, yeah, about.
My mum used to give me the phone and say, call social services. I dare you.
My mum done the same. But what I'm saying is, yeah, it's like the government's made it hard for people to discipline their children properly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not like I'm saying, licks might not be the reason why. It might not change them. But I feel like a lot of people disrespect their parents nowadays because they ain't got no control over them, fam. Like, a lot of youths, like, how are you gonna tell you cannot go outside right now? If that be the only punishment, you telling him you cannot go outside. I'm just gonna go with it. You know what I mean?
and inside's got a lot. You still got access to outside from inside.
Come on, man. The internet's mad.
There's been a lot of emphasis on the negative impact of music, and you yourself, you mentioned you've lost friends through violent crimes. Has music had a positive influence? Has it provided you catharsis through being able to express yourself and talk about emotions and stuff like that? Has music had a positive spin throughout this kind of environment and the upbringing?
Absolutely, like
maybe speak on that a bit as well, so we bring some balance.
To be fair,
to it.
like I was thinking it to myself the other day. Like if I didn't actually have music, I don't know what I would be doing, fam. Like there was really no plan B. Like man was just out here, and that's how it sounds sad, but man was actually just out here, for a lost cause. So when I found music, it was like, right, it gave me some direction, and I can actually see myself doing something, like in the future. Before it was just like, right, man's out here, fam. You know what I'm saying? Man just doing the road thing, like, and it's mad. And you can't see. As sad as it sounds, you want to make all this dough and that, but fam, you can't see an end. I didn't ever see an end to it. So I was like, right, am I gonna do this forever? But yeah, music, absolutely, man. Gives me a purpose, fam. Gives me a purpose to want to wake up and do something positive. You know what I'm saying? Like rather than the norm. Like, and it's stress, like it takes a toll on you after a while, fam, when you're just around badness and negativity, man.
And in terms of your following, do they ever hit you up and talk about how your music impacts on them?
Yeah, I like to try and not miss a message, man. Like it's hard because a lot of people do message you at certain times, but I try hard not to miss a message, fam. And the conversation that I have with some of my supporters, it moves me, fam. It makes me feel like this is bigger than me, fam. This is not this is not for me. I do this no more, fam. It's for people, that actually haven't got a voice to say what I say, because I don't give a damn. Like I'll go against the grain, fam. Like if man don't want to hear it, I do not care. I'll voice my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people feel that, and yeah, man, I'm just gonna carry on. Like shouts out all the REAL supporters, man.
Don't know.
Love all you lot, fam.
What you lot got going on the music wise, man? Yourself and the game.
Man. The team right now, we just trying to do this takeover thing right now, for real. We're feeling good. When you've got like, it's like football. When everyone's on form, like everyone, it feels good. It feels good still. Bam's fresh home.
Yeah, he's been tearing it up, man.
Yeah, come on, fam. He just gave man the he gave man that extra leap of motivation, fam. Batteries charged. You know what I'm saying? He just come out. He's got that young hunger, fam. He's got that young hunger.
Bro, I've been getting gassed. I wasn't aware of him from before. I can't remember what's the first one I watched. I think I watched the Black Box with all of you.
Yeah.
And like, he just caught me. I was like, yo, this guy though. And then I followed all of his freestyles since, and then I went back and heard some of the old stuff. That's the guy I showed you. Yeah. It's crazy,
so right now, all of the man, every single one of us have got a project dropping. I don't want to say mixtapes and EPs because it's all muddled up. A couple EPs and mixtapes in there. Videos, they're coming out like water. You know what I'm saying?
What you got dropping?
Me, I've got something that I done on SBTV recently. Shout out to Jamal Edwards. It was like an acoustic session where man just dropped some bars over a guitar beat, which my guy he done for me. I got a music video called Paranoia Central, which is on my EP Codeine. That's on all major UK digital streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes. Boom. Might check on Link Up TV. That should be dropping very soon.
Sick.
Watch has got a movie, Big Watch as well. He's got a movie coming called Where Was You? Music video, but it's a movie. It's gonna be mad. It's gonna be mad. Yeah. It's very epic still. Catch me playing that main role. You know what I'm saying? I'm there.
I hear that.
Come on, you know, man of all craft and that.
Diversifying
Come on,
yeah?
trying to ting.
Wicked.
But yes, Watch has got that dropping. Trill's got his mixtape Trilogy dropping, I think on Friday, 2 days. That's gonna be on all streaming platforms and Mixtape Madness. Bam Bam's got a mad tune coming, videos just gonna be crazy. Plus his mixtape, and NMS got a video. So we're just gonna.
It's a lot. That's
REL on the internet takeover, fam.
We're gonna have to get all of you to come here one time.
So you guys aren't really that busy at the moment, then? Yeah, keeping it quiet, just chilling.
Man, just feet up now and again. Just another day in the life, but yeah, no, we're working hard, man. We're working hard. Working hard, man.
Big up for coming through, man.
No, love, man, love.
If you could leave one, like a last message for the young people and what they're going through, what would it be?
Oh man, bro, just pray. Make sure all your loved ones, including your friends and that, are safe, man, and make sure you keep in contact with them at all times, because as sad as it sounds, you never know when the last time you're going to see somebody, fam. So, just make sure you check for everyone, even if you're feeling a bit, make sure you check for your peoples, fam. you know, we're living in mad times. That's all I can say. I can't tell anybody to put anything down. Just be safe and pray, fam. Trust me.
All right, one love, man. Coinz in the building.
Bless for coming down, fam.
No, love.
Respect,
Anytime, bro.
man.
Anytime, man.
PyroRadio.com.
Keep it pyro.